Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right, it's 10 o'clock, so we'll call this county commission meeting to order. Want to welcome everybody for being here today. Have a good crowd and every commissioner is present, so we do have a quorum. Our pledge, our invocation will be led by Adam Davis, who is making his way to the front. He is an award-winning author. 10 o'clock from Houston County. Not a whole lot of people can say that. And pledge of allegiance will be led by Commissioner Tracy Adams. You will all stand.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. First and foremost for your son, Jesus. We thank you for the blood that shed from your son that ran down a hill called Calvary, that there's still power in that blood. We thank you for what it means. We thank you for your word, which is a lamp to our feet and a light to our path in a dark and evil world. We thank you for the presence of your Holy Spirit, which is here and now. Before we ask you for anything, we just want to pause to say thank you. We just want to express our heartfelt gratitude for another day. We just want to say thank you. If you don't do anything else for us, you've given us another day and we say thank you. We ask for your wisdom today. Wisdom as these men lead this county, as they make decisions, as people are here voicing their concerns, that you unify us, that you grant us peace, that you protect us, and that you let your face shine upon us. We ask for your wisdom. Lead us, Lord, and then give us the courage to execute. Grant us your favor today. We thank you so much for all you've done for us. Thank you for your peace. Touch those who are suffering, those who are sick, those who are oppressed. In the matchless and precious name of Jesus. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Adam. Thank you, Commissioner Adams. Gentlemen, you each received a copy of the minutes of a previous meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve those. Have a motion by Commissioner Harry. Second by Commissioner Ivy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Announcements and comments from the chairman and commissioners. I think we did have a couple of announcements today. So Commissioner Adam or Ivy, I think you had.
Yes, sir. This is a little piece of artwork that was submitted in a contest that the Wiregrass Museum of Art had. And the winner is the sixth grade student from Wicksburg Elementary, and her name is Mary Gaines Carter. And I was just wanting to present this because this is going to be hung up in the chambers upstairs in the commission, and thought it'd be something nice to show this morning and
Absolutely.
something positive to start the day off with.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you. I know you wanted to call somebody up, but before we do, any other announcements or comments from members of the commission?
At this time, I have Mr. Tawana Downing, Tanawa Downing. He is the Chief Legal Strategist for Justice Without Limits. And this team here, we're gonna give him a leeway just to share a few things with Houston County.
Thank you so much.
First of all,
Thank you so much for allowing me to speak this morning. I did drive in and I so much appreciate your time. So my name is Tanawa Downing and I'm a civil rights advocate litigator out of Washington, D.C. And just so that you understand, I'm a fellow oath taker. So as a responsibility to support and defend the Constitution, I am equally obligated to support the institutions upon which the Constitution created as much as I am to protect the rights of the people. So the things I'm about to say, please understand, I'm not against you guys. I'm actually on your side. We're on the same side. There's nothing more damaging to our union than paying people to violate the Constitution of the United States of America. Please allow me to explain. Constitution of the United States is the overarching requirements that every state must follow. States cannot enact their own alternative legislation and substitute that for the guarantees of the Constitution. That would obviously be an unconstitutional act. So Clause 1 of Amendment 5 to the United States Constitution, what it says is that no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on presentment or indictment of a grand jury. That's clear. You need to have an indictment by grand jury for arresting someone, holding them over for a capital or any infamous crime. However, the state of Alabama has enacted its own alternative legislation that permits a prosecuting attorney, a police officer to charge by what's called information, not by indictment. That is unconstitutional. Now, an emolument violation is when you pay someone to violate the Constitution. You can't do that. And if you receive federal funds, you can't pay someone to violate federal law. There's two areas of the Constitution that reinforce this. The first is Article 1, Section 10. That's where it says that no state shall create any law that shall impair the obligation of contracts. Police officers and prosecutors and judges are all under a contract. That's a contract to perform based upon the oath or affirmation they took to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. So when the state of Alabama creates a law that directs them to disobey the Constitution, that would obviously be a violation of Article 1, Section 10. Second place that reinforces this is the 14th Amendment. That's the Privileges and Immunities Clause, where it says no state shall create or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges and immunities of the United States citizens. The privileges and immunities of United States citizens are at a minimum what is enumerated in the Bill of Rights, right? This was affirmed by the United States Supreme Court in a unanimous decision, 2019, Kim versus Indiana. As a result, the state of Alabama has enacted law and is enforcing it through agents whom unfortunately you all pay to violate the Constitution of the United States. As a result, there's currently an inordinate amount of people currently imprisoned here in the state of Alabama illegally and unconstitutionally. So I'm preparing to litigate this United States Supreme Court on behalf of more than 700,000 people are currently imprisoned here in America illegally and unconstitutionally. I'm here today to let you guys know that if we continue to pay these public officials to violate the Constitution, that criminal sanctions can come from that. That's not the direction we want to go. We want to work together to fix this problem, and I hope that we can do that. But I must make sure that you guys are aware that paying people to violate the Constitution is an emolument violation. It is illegal and it's a crime. So I'm asking honorable individuals, please work with me here and let's resolve this problem. Let's direct those agents to act in a lawful constitutional manner that is consistent with the obligations they have codified in the Constitution of the United States of America. I do have a notice here, and this, all of the implications right here, explains everything. I would love to work with you guys, please. We need to work together to make sure that our agents are not violating the supreme law of the land. Thank you guys so much. God bless. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Should I get this?
Yeah, just give it to
Thank you.
Ms. Stacy. Thank you. All right. We have 4 items under awards and presentations. And there are 4 proclamations today, so we are going to divide and conquer. The first one is going to be National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. So I will entertain a motion to approve that proclamation.
motion.
Motion by Commissioner Ivy, second by Commissioner Adams. All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Proclamation is approved. Commissioner Ivy.
Excuse me while I step down. Ladies, if y'all will join me, please. This one I came. Really? Y'all gonna stand way back there? I thought y'all liked me. Y'all say y'all did.
We like your cake.
For those who have not met any of these ladies are fine, upstanding telecommunicators. They're the ones who are behind the scenes, that are the ones that when people are having the worst day of their life, these ladies are normally the ones that get that phone call. Being that it may be from somewhere from a child missing to someone that just took their lives. These ladies answer those calls. They deal with the trauma of dealing with these calls on a day-to-day basis. So we're here this week to recognize them and also the ones that are at work or at home asleep because they've got to work tonight. One of the hardest things I had to do here lately is to stand in front of these ladies and let them know that I am retiring from the sheriff's office on October 1. They have supported me so much through the years, and that was the hardest thing that I had to do was stand in front of these ladies and tell them that I would not be there after October 1 for them. So hopefully whoever takes my spot starting October 1 will do the same thing and fight for these ladies like I have through the years that I have been able to be their captain. And with that said, this is the proclamation for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services. And whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics are critical to the protection of life, preservation of the Houston County Sheriff's Office, and whereas the safety of our deputies and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Houston County Sheriff's Office. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link of our law enforcement and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information and assuring their safety. And whereas public safety telecommunicators of the Houston County Sheriff's Office has contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppressions of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Now, therefore, we, the Houston County Commission and the Chairman of Houston County, do hereby proclaim the week of April the 12th through April the 18th, 2026 as National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week. And we ask that y'all help us recognize these individuals and give them a round of applause.
Take a photo.
No, we stand back here.
They were just getting ready.
Right. I was about to say, you want to sit? Yeah.
Right, if this is our
Yeah,
last
if
one.
this is our last picture, we want you to.
So you can't just stand up there and make us cry.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, but, and there's pickup there too. Y'all have to go.
Item number 2, under awards and presentations, is a proclamation for Community College Month. Entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Hearing, second by Commissioner Adams. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Proclamation is approved. See, Dr. Chris Franklin is here. If you want to make your way to the front, join Commissioner Harvey, who will read the proclamation.
We're a proclamation for Community College Month here. Since whereas for over 75 years, Wallace Community College has strengthened the educational landscape of Houston County and the Wiregrass region by providing affordable, high-quality education that empowers students and supports economic growth. And whereas Wallace Community College serves individuals from Houston County through academic transfer programs, health sciences education, career technical education, and workforce training, dual enrollment, and adult education. And whereas Wallace College generates a 193 million annual economic impact in this area, supporting 3,220 jobs and contributing to the workforce and economic vitality of Houston County and surrounding communities. And whereas Wallace Community College is dedicated to public service, student success, and workforce development, helping individuals achieve their goals while strengthening the communities it serves. Now, therefore, we, The Chairman of Houston County Commission to hereby proclaim the month of April as Community College Month in Houston County, given under our hand and great seal of the Office of Houston County Commission this 13th day for April 2026. Let's applaud it. It's always so great having community colleges, not only in our areas, but in the entire world. I myself, when I got out of the military after I had served, I went to Wallace Community College. I'm also a product of Wallace, and I thank them for that.
Appreciate it. Thank you. We appreciate it. You, as a past alumni, you know exactly what Wallace means to this community, and we appreciate so much your willingness to recognize that. Yes, thank you so much. Just again, there's a reason why we have community in our name. We are a community college, and we're part of this community college. This community of Houston County accounts for the largest number of students in our service area. It's the largest number of our dual enrollment, and the work that we do both with our students and in economic development is surpassed by no one in this area, and we appreciate the support you all give us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, take a couple. 1, 2, 3. Y'all look great. Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you.
Thank you again.
Third item under awards and presentations is proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month. I'll entertain a motion to.
Motion,
approve that.
second.
Commissioner Green, second by Commissioner Ivy. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Proclamation is approved. Miss Eileen Mays Easley, you want to make your way to the front and join Commissioner Adams? I'll lead. Excuse me, thank you. I should have asked that question before I got up here.
He mispronounced my name.
Commissioner Adams, floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do. Child Abuse Prevention Month, whereas the early experiences of a child impacts them throughout life, both positive and negative. Whereas every family and child is filled with tremendous promise, and we all share a collective responsibility to prevent adverse child experiences, foster the potential of every child, and promote positive childhood experiences. And whereas families who receive the support that they need before crisis occurs are better equipped to provide safe, healthy, and nutritious environments, leading to children who are safe, healthy, and more hopeful about their futures. And whereas child trauma, including abuse and neglect, can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects throughout the individual's lifetime and can impact future generations. And whereas the strength of the community depends on the well-being of children, and effective prevents requires the involvement of families, educators, medical professionals, law enforcement, child advocate professionals, and community members working together. Whereas increasing public awareness and strengthening the community partnerships ensure that children grow up in a safe and stable, nurturing environment, whereas they strive. And whereas during Child Abuse Prevention Month, communities across the nation come together to promote awareness and encourage actions recognition that when we nurture children and support families and strengthen communities, hopeful truly grows for the next generation. Whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. Now, therefore, we, the chairman and Houston County Commission, do hereby proclaim April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Houston County, and urges all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to improving the quality of life for all children and families. Together, we can build a community where every child grows up safe, supported, and filled with a hope for future. Because when communities come together to protect our children, hope grows. And witness here, set under my hand, caused the seal of Houston County to be effective 13th day of April 2026. Thank you. You do. Got it.
Hello, my name is Allie Mays, and I'm a therapist. I've been at the Child Advocacy Center for now 15 years. And on behalf of the Southeast Alabama Child Advocacy Center, I want to sincerely thank you guys for recognizing the CAC as Child Prevention Month. This proclamation is more than just words on a piece of paper. It is fully a reminder for all of us to protect our children and to share this responsibility. Every child in this community deserves the right to feel safe, supported, and valued. It takes all of us to work together to make this a reality. At the CAC, we have the privilege of walking alongside children and their families during some of the most difficult times. But we also know that prevention begins long before the crisis. It starts with strong family, with supportive communities, with adults who are willing to step in, speak up, and make a difference in our community. This year, we chose the theme, Hope Grows Here. And we truly believe that hope takes root when community like ourselves here come together to protect our children. Thank you so much for your support, for your partnership, and for your commitment to the children and families in our community.
Thank you. I worked at Delta High School. I see the work out there.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. There we go. Okay, you did.
Thank you, so.
We have one more item under awards and presentations, which is a proclamation for National Library Week. Mr. Warren, if you want to make your way to the front, I'll entertain a motion to approve this. Commissioner Ivy, second by Commissioner Herring. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Proclamation is approved. Good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you again.
Absolutely. Greatly appreciate, what our library does for our community. Go back not that long ago. And we had an old dilapidated building. People were thinking like, are we gonna have a library in the future? And I think now our library system is as strong as it's ever been. And a lot of that is thanks to your leadership and the leadership of the board, but I will read this proclamation. It says, whereas public libraries make our communities great places to live, work, learn, play, and grow. And whereas public library employees work hard every day to support early literacy, lifelong learning, and community connections. And whereas the Dothan and Houston County Library System serves the 108,000 residents of Houston County through 3 facilities, a bookmobile, and a variety of digital resources. And whereas last year, the libraries welcomed 280,459 visitors. Our patrons borrowed 211,704 books, audiobooks, ebooks, DVDs, and other items. And 11,610 children, teens, and adults attended 469 library programs. And whereas it is important to celebrate the great work of our libraries, including their employees, friends, volunteers, and trustees. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Brandon Shoup, Chairman of the Houston County Commission, proclaim National Library Week, April 19th through April 25th, 2026. During this week, I encourage Houston County residents to check out the wonderful things that our own Dothan Houston County Library System makes possible. I'll present this to you and welcome any comments.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm aware I'm the last thing standing between y'all and the rest of the agenda, so I will make my remarks brief. I do want to thank the Houston County Commission for your support for our library system. I also want to thank
everybody who makes the work of our library possible, including our friends of the library, our wonderful board of trustees who demonstrate great leadership in terms of making sure we understand our community and delivering programs and services that align with all of that. And I also want to, of course, thank all of our staff. We have about 30 people who work for our library system who are all very service-minded, community-oriented individuals who make the great work of our library possible. So when you think of things like every story time that we have, every ebook that we buy, every database that we make available for our community, there are people who make all of those things possible in our library system. Part of that is the buildings, yes. Part of it's also the great people who work for our library system. I also have some people who would be very mad at me if I didn't mention that our big book sale is going on right now. I was there yesterday and there's still a great selection. They had literally thousands of books available, most of them for just $1 or 50 cents. And that's an entirely volunteer run organization that generates as much as $70,000 for our library system a year. So please check them out. They're at the Westgate Recreation Center gym. So appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Putting all these pictures on the web today. Now,
Moving on to our regular agenda, we have a request to approve resolution supporting Southeast Health Foundation's expansion with a Pulse Point application into rural Houston County.
motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Harry, second by Commissioner Adams. Any questions or discussion on this item? Mr. Sean, you want to come up and tell us a little bit more about this?
Yes, sir. Do I need to go on this side?
Yeah, and turn the microphone around and just hit it. Yep, there you go.
Chairman, Commission, thank y'all for this opportunity to discuss this final piece of the Houston County Heart Safe Initiative. As you all are aware, and a lot of Houston County is aware, we continue the efforts to educate our citizens of all of the communities of Houston County on the defense of sudden cardiac arrest, severe bleeding, and opioid overdoses. These are very important missions for us to do. Well, Pulse Point, this final piece, the conversation of incorporating Pulse Point as this final piece, the goal is to unveil what we don't know. And what I mean quickly about that is a lot of times a sudden cardiac arrest or an injury or possibly even an overdose is happening right next door to us. So the question is how can we get those citizens, those trained people there to help these individuals with this? As we've all learned, if we've gone through this program, every 1 minute we don't take action, we lose 10% survivability. And it's a simple mathematical equation. Well, what Pulse Point will do is once integrated into the CAD system, I do wish the telecommunicators were still here. What a great week to talk about this. But once it's integrated into their system, as they hear cues from the public that there's a cardiac arrest, an overdose, or a severe injury, when they key that in and they hit enter, it will send out a signal through the Pulse Point app. And all of us citizens that download this app, which is free to us, it's funded by the foundation, but it's free to us. If we're within 15 minutes of that location, our phones will go off very similar to an Amber Alert. Once it alerts us that there's help needed, we have a choice to accept or not accept. If we accept, the software will show us a map and it will lead us to the patient, but it will also show us the closest bleeding control kit, the closest AED, the closest Narcan dose, so that we can possibly grab it as we go or some other rescuer from that location. This software, again, this is something that's super important to this Heart Safe initiative, and it's the final piece to tie the whole picture together. Again, thank y'all for the opportunity.
Thank you for the information, and Yeah, it's amazing the things that people come up with. A lot of people have ideas on things that could save lives, but to do something like this, like what y'all did for the city of Dothan and what you're now doing for Houston County, that takes leadership, it takes commitment, it takes a lot of hours from a lot of folks. And so I want to thank everyone involved in this, from the hospital administration to the foundation to the Southeast Alabama EMS, to you and every person that has worked, volunteer, paid, otherwise, has worked to make this happen. So I'm very excited about this. Any other comments, questions from the commission? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 2 is a request to approve facility management agreement with the National Peanut Festival regarding Houston County Farm Center.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Harvey, second by Commissioner Adams. We have talked about this a couple of times, put it off to this meeting. I think we clarified a few things. So any questions or comments?
I have a question. Is the rates gonna be placed on our website? Information on how to,
They can be. I mean, not necessarily.
I mean, got people to automatically,
Thank Houston County.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Ms. Jackie, let's make sure that we make that happen, if you don't mind. And we probably need to talk to IT about that. Excuse me, putting a page on the website for the farm center. I don't think we have one right now. So let's Ms. Stacy, if you want to make sure that happens along with the rates. Any other questions or comments, thoughts? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 3 is a request to approve position for grant writer for Houston County.
Motion. Second.
Motion by, let's see, Commissioner Ivy, and second by Commissioner Herring. Questions or discussion on this item? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 4 is a request to accept transferring of property in Cottonwood from the Houston County Board of Education.
Motion.
Second.
Commissioner Adams, and I believe I heard a second by Commissioner Harvey. Questions or discussion on this item? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 5 is a request to approve policy changes to the Houston County, policy changes to the road and bridge subdivision regulations.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Herring.
Second.
Sorry, Harvey. Second by Commissioner Adams.
We look alike.
Y'all do. Yeah, I get y'all confused.
The hairstyle.
Yeah. I always get y'all's last names confused for some reason. I know I had received some conversations over the weekend from some of our home builders, expressed some concerns. I had one commissioner that had reached out to me about the possibility of backing this off from 125 to 110. But to do that, we will need let me pull up the thing here, number 5. We'll need a press, am I right, that we're going to need a substitute motion to approve, to make a change to the policy from 125 to 110? I think you had some other things you want to discuss as well. I'll just turn the floor over to you.
If the changes were needed to do the road frontage, I think you would need to go back out to the public hearing to give a chance, because you need to approve what you've told everybody you're doing.
Gotcha.
I may be mistaken, but
Oh, we'd rather be safe than sorry.
yes, and so that would, you don't have a per se amount of time that you need between those two things, but that would be my recommendation, is if you didn't want to consider the proposed changes as provided, then we would need to go back to essentially public hearing and then do another meeting.
Okay.
We had discussed previously with everyone about a sunset provision or a grandfather and sunset provision related to the road frontage exceptions. Again, as I'm sure the commission is aware, but I'll repeat it again just in case. The question is, what would be exempted or an exception to the current subdivision regulations, which control road frontage, the curbing and guttering related to developing a subdivision? The exception is found in item 1-8-1 of our subdivision regulations that say if you meet certain conditions, of a existing county road being divided up, and then you have a certain amount of road frontage, you would be allowed to continue forward with developing those properties without having to comply with the other requirements of a subdivision regulation, such as curbing, guttering, and all those things. We've provided for the commission's approval provision that would allow for people that have already, as of the acceptance or the commission votes and approves this regulation, these subdivision regulations today, then any owner of property as of today would be allowed 6 months to be in a kind of grandfather provision state that would be under the old provisions of road frontage, which is it 60 feet? The changed from 60 to 125 feet. If you owned property as of today, and then within the next 6 months, had that property that you own today cut up into the necessary pieces, and how do you do that? Provide a deed of record with the probate court. You have a surveyor, they make you a legal description, you have a deed. It's not, you don't have to go in and break ground, so to speak. You just need to put on record that you are wanting to move your property into these parcels. Then within that 6 months, we'd say after that, we essentially sunset it going forward. You would fall under the current regulations if you say bought property next week. And to go back, the items that are split up, if someone owns property today and then in the next 6 months went back and deeded the property back to themselves with those cut up parcels, so to speak, then they would be allowed as much time as they would like to come back and actually develop the property. And so there's no requirement that the individual break ground, start putting in plants and that sort of idea. It's just we need to know within a certain amount of time. And we spoke, Road and Bridge and I spoke, that would be the easiest for everybody because it's a very clear line whether or not there's a deed of record as of today. And then there's very clear record in 6 months, whether or not they've come back and simply deeded the property. We're not asking them to come back and develop the property within a certain amount of time. That just seems to be the easiest workable solution for everybody.
Yeah, that way we don't catch people off guard, so to speak.
Correct.
Yeah, take away from what they had planned to do. So, listening to you, I think we've got really two options. We can approve this, or we can entertain a substitute motion to table it. So I will turn it over. We can continue to debate this, or entertain a motion, or we can vote. So
Most approved.
we've already had a motion.
At 110 feet. We go back.
Well, he was saying that
Make a motion, we table it.
we have to hold another public hearing.
I'll make a motion, we table.
Okay, so we have a motion, we have a substitute motion from Commissioner Harry. Table. So with that motion, we'll need a second, then we'll have to vote.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ivy. All right, so we have a substitute motion to table this to a later date. Any debate on this item? Okay, all in favor of the substitute motion, say aye. Any opposed, nay. All right, substitute motion is approved. So at this point, we will have to vote on the motion. So all in favor, I need a motion and a second to approve this.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Ivy, second by Commissioner Adams. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion is approved. So this has been tabled to a later date. Come up with another date. So, staff reports, Madam Chief Administrative Officer. Mr. Acting County Engineer.
We have 3 closed roads currently, Womack Road, County Road 95 North, and Bluff Spring Road.
Mr. County Attorney. All right, any questions for the staff, members of the commission?
No, sir.